Guys, we've got a soft heart out here. Let's keep on topic.
We have a soft heart out here?
Why are we doing this as a bit? We have to cut it no matter what.
Exactly.
Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown, the unofficial sumo podcast for official sumo fans. This is Ryan.
This is Flair.
This is Jake.
This is Mac.
And this is our third annual Grand Sumo Breakdown Hall of Fame, or as apparently we started calling it on the last time, the Grand Sumo Breakdown Miscellaneous Hall of Fame of whatever we want that might or might not deserve a full bonus episode or anything, but we still want to talk about, or for short, GSB, MHO, FO, WWW, TMOM, NDA, FBEOA, BWS, WTTA. Just easy. For ease.
Oh, that's one.
It rolls off the tongue, it does.
Much easier to use the abbreviation, yeah.
Yeah. All right, our current inductees for the Grand Sumo Breakdown Hall of Fame. We have Hakuho's final match, a 14-0 versus 14-0 matchup against then Ozeki Teruno Fuji in Nagoya of 2021. We have Kisei no Sato's back-to-back Yushos in 2017 following a long career of coming up just short. We have Tochi Noshin's Ozeki run in which he got, I think, about 37 wins over 3 basho and got the very rare Ozeki run that included a basho in my Gashira. And then we have Hoshoryu's Ipponzeoi Kimarite that he had in a victory over Wakataka Kage back in 2022. A very impressive victory for Hoshoryu there.
One of the funny things that I found while I was reviewing our outline from the last couple of years here, everything that Ryan and Flarik have nominated has gotten in. And Mac have been cut out completely.
No.
Boom.
Everything that I've nominated for Hall of Fame and Hall of Shame has made it in. And
gosh, even for the Hall of Shame?
Yeah.
Oh,
and then
wow.
Flarik's nominees for the Hall of Fame have both made it. Then it's been one Flarik Hall of Shame and one Mac Hall of Shame.
Yeah.
Or one Jake, because I got the we'll go over the Hall of Shame
Jake,
later.
okay.
But me and Mac have gotten on the scoreboard once each, and Ryan is at 100%, batting 1,000.
Yeah.
Yep, well done.
Did we have like a couple people double up, like we both agreed on the same one? Or am I just like not thinking it's the same?
No,
You're probably
we've
making
done it
shit up.
each year. We each bring one
There's
nominee,
two.
and then we induct
right.
2 of them.
We induct 2 of them. We bring one. We each bring one, and then we induct 2.
Okay.
Should
So
we do a
there
quick
is there is a
format
scoreboard.
review?
Okay, there's
there's
a
a
score.
scoreboard.
I
Yeah.
like this. Okay.
Should we
I'm
do
now
a-
interested.
Should we do a quick review of the format here before we dive into who we're
Probably
nominating?
a good idea.
Go for it, Jake, because I don't remember.
Oh, okay. So each year we each bring one nominee for the Hall of Fame and one for the Hall of Shame. And we're going to take, 2-3 minutes each to review who we are nominating this year. And then when all 4 nominations have been discussed, then we argue about which 2 are going to make it. And at which point we'll vote, or if we have a consensus, we'll just do it. But we're going to induct two of these nominations out of the 4 into the GSB Hall of Fame. Sorry, GSB Miscellaneous Hall of Fame, or whatever we want that might or might not deserve a full bonus episode or anything, but we still want to talk about. Or for short. No, I'm not going to do that. But no, we'll take 4 nominations, 2 inductees, and then we'll repeat it for the Hall of Shame afterwards.
Yep. All right. I think let's go ahead and get started. Do we want to start with me, or do somebody else want to present theirs first?
You just want to go last, don't you?
You just want to go last.
You want to be the showstopper, don't you?
I don't care. I honestly don't care. Just if somebody wants to go first, they can go first.
Well, traditionally on GSB, when we're doing our regular Bansuke or Basho or Bansuke episodes, I guess, we usually start off with an amateur sumo update, which I'm sure a good portion of our listeners just hit that skip button and go a little bit further.
Nobody would blame you.
And this episode is no exception.
Okay, click. All right, we'll let you know when the time skip is here, listeners.
Trust me, this will loop around quite a bit. But my nominee is New Yorker turned Hawaiian, John Jocks. Like I said, trust me, we'll get there. So John Jocks moved out to Hawaii. He would joke about 2 million years ago or so. And he was he was heavily involved in sumo all the way back in I think the 70s is when he got his start. He did a ton of wrestling on his own, but more particular for this episode, he started clubs. He mentored many wrestlers in Hawaii and sent a bunch of people to the pros. So like specifically just from his own club, he had John Collins, Reed Asato, Bryn George, Taylor Wiley, Wayne Vieira, and Ace Yonamine. All of those guys went pro from his sumo club in Oahu. He also was heavily involved in literally everybody else from Hawaii that went over, including the big three: Konishiki, Akebono, Musashi Maru. All those guys have ties to John Jocks. He was actually just at Konishiki's birthday party. And if you have seen any social media from that, some banging t-shirts designed for that birthday party. They're like white and red, cool Konishiki designs. It's got like baby Konishiki on the back when he was just a teenager. Incredible. But
only 150 pounds, 200 pounds
when he was 6 years old. Yeah,
that's what I mean. Yeah, you said he was a baby. He was only 100 pounds then, people.
But yeah, there's basically everybody from Hawaii that went to sumo, and this is primarily in like the 80s through around 2000 or so. All of them have ties to John Jocks. He's this incredible mentor who builds people up and connects people and gets them points them in the right direction for their passion for sumo. So I promised earlier before we started recording that I had a tie-in for why this is still relevant to the GSB era, because I mean, obviously the Hawaiian era has kind of ended. The Hawaiian era kind of ended. It primarily was the emergency brake was pulled in the late 90s by the Japan Sumo Association, and they stopped letting any foreigners in whatsoever. There was, for like a full year, there was like 0 foreigners. John had 2 guys with their suitcases packed, ready to go out the door when they slapped this down without warning. And those guys just they did not go into pro sumo. Absolute tragedy. Makes me so mad. But a year later, they opened it up, and now we have the current 1 foreigner rule. And a huge part of that is because John Jocks was so good at recruiting sumo wrestlers and sending them to Japan that they were like, we can't let this go on. We have to we have to put a stamp on this. We can't be done with it, or we can't keep this going. So yeah, that rule is primarily around because John Jocks was so good at finding sumo wrestlers to send to Japan in the 90s. So very cool story. A bummer of an ending for that personal story, but he is you'll hear me talk about him all the time in amateur sumo right now because he's very involved in American amateurs. And since he has gotten multiple scholarships for people to go do sumo at universities, even if it's not really going to the pros anymore. So that's my nominee. Somebody that had a huge impact on sumo for decades, and that ripple of the foreigner rules lasts to this day. So that is who I am nominating this year for the GSB Hall of Fame of whatever we want. No, I'm not going to do the whole thing again.
So don't.
Nope. What's up, Flair?
Yeah, no, I just want to say that, yeah, this is a cool guy. My first interaction with him was he posted something on the there's like a Facebook sumo group of just kind of like inspiring text saying like, look at like the sumo wrestler, like he's trying very hard, like, you know, he's working, he's trying to do his best, like day in, day out, stuff like that. Just like super something that's got me pumped up, just kind of reading the text there. Oh, dang, maybe I should go do some sumo wrestling. Yeah. And then like I think later is when you gave me the backstory about like who he was, Jake, and it's just he definitely seems like a cool guy, definitely infectious. He has kind of that infectious personality you get from like people who are really big into sports, or kind of like sometimes like coaches or managers, and it's really just kind of fun. So I think he seems like a really cool guy.
And if this was an amateur sumo Hall of Fame thing, it'd be first ballot, no questions, no blinking. He'd be in there immediately. I think the only thing we have to debate on that is how much that applies to our current, what we want in our Hall of Fame. But
it's what we want. So if we want it this time, we'll vote it.
Now let's check the title again.
Yeah.
GSB Miscellaneous Hall of Fame.
It's
okay, who's nominating next?
All
right, it's a really hard one to say. We should have put more vowels in there.
Yeah, we should. I want more vowels.
I'll just go ahead with mine here. And so we've got all 4 of our current GSB inductees are their moments. It's a kimarite, it's a match, or it's a series of bashos. We have yet to induct an individual. Jake has nominated an individual in the form of Jean Jacques, and I'm going to be nominating another individual. It's just Ura. I mean, this.
Okay, enough said.
Yeah, basically, but like this is a guy that.
Go ahead. Okay, convince us.
He's never going. I'm not going to say never. He's likely not going to win a U show in his career. He's likely never going to push for anything beyond the random Komusubi Sekiwake appearance, if he's lucky enough to get up to Sekiwake. But this is a guy that, despite never really competing for a U show, can dominate the conversation on the podcast because of the things that he does. And so he's not going to make any sort of like Sumo Hall of Fame for his great in-ring performances, but a GSB Hall of Fame of whatever we want, he absolutely is destined for that. I've got the stats to back it up. So since Ura has returned,
nothing less.
Since Ura has returned from this devastating knee injury that cost him about 4 years of his top division career, he has been in 16 bashos, which we have covered all of those bashos, and he has won a GSB award in 10 out of 16 of those bashos. I didn't count. There's no way anybody got close to having that much recognition at the end of
check that.
each basho. No. And here are just the names of the awards that we've given him. The nice little flip, if I do say so myself, award. The Never Give Up, Never Surrender award. The Dance Revolution award.
That was a good one.
The Houdini award. The Olay award. We did back-to-back bashos. The Magic Man award.
Oh, that was so good.
We've got the Matrix award, the Gratuitous Flippery award, and the I Thought That Match Ended 4 Different Ways award. So just from the names of the awards that we have given him alone, you can tell he's doing some weird shit on the dohyo that nobody else is doing. He has 13 Match of the Basho nominations across 16 bashos. Jeez. Now, some of them he's got like 2 or 3 from one basho, but still 13 Match of the Basho nominations. He's won one of those. He is a 2-time
That's a pretty
popularity
success rate.
It is.
That's weird.
He's a 2-time popularity poll winner and a 5-time GSB year-end award winner with many more nominations. There is nobody with the level of success that Ura has had that gets as much screen time and deserves as much screen time as Ura does. And this might be the only hall that he has a chance to make it into.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you phrasing it that way, because that is like the clearest illustration possible that is what we want to see as a podcast if we're constantly nominating him for everything.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, that's my argument. I'm Fleric.
I just have one thing against it. You say like this guy's never gonna win the U show.
Oh,
when Guido,
I retracted and said he's probably not gonna win.
Probably. He added the qualifier. Probably.
Okay. All right, I'll let it slide then.
Yeah, I remember cool. Toku Shoryu. I know things happen.
I was going to say, Guido won something. You never know.
Crazier things have happened. All right, who wants to go next, Fleric or Mac?
I'll go ahead. It's going to be more of a quick one, but I'm just going to bring up, once again, I'm just going to say a person rather than a moment necessarily, but I'm going to go with Kota Shogiku.
All right.
Yeah, this is someone who we kind of saw the tail end of the career of. He was kind of the long-term Ozeki, the Japanese Ozeki during our time. Mm-hmm. But like before that, he was just kind of kicking some butt as Ozeki during a time of some really, really tough, stiff competition. I think between him, Kisei no Sato, probably Hakuho, I think maybe Harumafuji and Kakuryu as well, they have like the most matches against each other during that time.
Sure.
Yeah, and because like he was just kind of always up there, always kind of vying for the U shows, but he just never got them because Hakuho was just gobbling them all up. But he did famously get one finally in 2016, which was one of the U shows, like one of the first Japanese U shows from a Japanese wrestler in such a long time.
I can tell you specifically on that one because I nominated that U show as a previous moment. That U show was just before our time, but it was the first Japanese U show in 10 full years. Mm-hmm. It had been only Europeans and Mongolians for 10 years until 2016 when Kota Shogiku got his.
Yeah. It's it was definitely a big moment when that happened, even though it was slightly before our time. But he definitely had the big history about him, and it was the big thing I kind of like with my wrestlers is they have some personality. Kind of like with Ura, he has a little bit personality. He had a definite style where he just kind of did the bumpity of where he just kind of just he gets a grip and gets to the edge, and then he just kind of all of a sudden is like slamming his stomach into the guy trying to get him over the edge, which is kind of it's kind of weird, but it worked for him really well. So it's like, heck yeah, go for it. And he had one of those pre-match stretches of where the Kotobaru, I believe, of where he just kind of leaned back right before. Well, yeah, kind of like how Jake is showing off in the video feed. But it was just, yeah, it was a cool thing that he did when he was Ozeki. And then, unfortunately, when he dropped down, he stopped doing it to much sadness of everyone. And like he just kind of unfortunately never made it back up to Ozeki, and he had that kind of slow fall. He was involved with one of the more infamous Henkas of all time. I think it was
yeah,
that was Terunofuji, wasn't it?
Was
right?
Terunofuji.
It sure was. We hated Terunofuji before he came back.
Yes.
Yeah, Terunofuji Henked Koto Shogaku when Koto Shogaku if Koto Shogaku won, I think he would have still had a chance to go back up to Ozeki. Is that what it was?
Correct. It was Koto Shogaku's sixth loss in his Sekiwake Basha, where you had a chance to get 10 wins and bounce back up.
I think he still would have had to win one more, but had he beaten Terunofuji, there was still a chance. And that one just the flames were doused with a Henka.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think he had like the barest of like head nod or something afterwards, or maybe like no head nod at all.
Yeah, I don't think he did anything. I think he just looked at him.
He was pissed. But yeah, it's that's go ahead, Jake.
Oh, he met Hakuho in the ring 62 times.
Yeah.
And he won a full 7 of them.
Boom.
6 and 56. But yeah, no, he had 60 plus matches with Hakuho, with Haruma Fuji, Kisuno Sato. Yeah, he was that group that was at the top for so long. He was absolutely hanging with all of them. Except for Hakuho, I suppose.
Except for Hakuho.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was hanging as much as one can by being in the top.
Yeah, no kidding.
No, it was going against them. But yeah, that is my nomination. All that is Koto Shogiku.
Love it.
Very good.
All right, Mac, who are you bringing to the table?
I am bringing the Master of Chaos and of Yokozuna Rage, the one, the only Flying Monkey Tobizaru. And when I say he is a Master of Chaos, I mean literally his sumo page says, oh, okay, his Kimarite. What does he do? 47% of the time, he has so much going on, they can't even narrow it down. 22% of the 23% of the time, this guy does an Oshidashi. Cool. Then it drops down to 16% for an Okuridashi and 14% for a Hataki Komi. Everything else is spread out. So it's 47%, etc. They can't even narrow this guy's Kimarite down. He bounces up and down all the time. And yet, the one thing he is so good at is pissing the ungodly fury out of all the Yokozuna. We saw it first with Hakuho back in 2021 with the match that lasted for 5 minutes because Tobizaru just stood up and was ready. And Hakuho's like, what are we doing? Okay, do it again, do it again, do it again. So they go back down and they do it again. They mess it up a second time. And Hakuho's like, what the hell are you doing? All right, go down. We're going to go down again. He does it a third time and Hakuho says, enough of this shit, and charges. And then Tobizaru just keeps his distance. He's not attacking. Hakuho is visibly getting pissed because he's not taking it seriously. So Hakuho does what Hakuho does, gets angry, and beats the ever-loving hell out of him.
Yeah.
Now, we fast forward a few years. Terunofuji and Tobizaru have got a little bit more back and forth. I think it's 3-7, at least for now it's 3-7. But on the latest meeting, when it could have gone the other way for 4 and 6, it did not. And instead, Tobizaru once again tapped into his latent ability to completely piss off a Yokozuna, which he did by attempting to kick his knee. That completely enraged the kaiju, and we all saw it firsthand in the ring. Do not piss off the kaiju.
I think he succeeded in kicking his knee.
Well,
I think that's the problem.
Yeah, okay, very, but he still did it and roused the anger of a freaking Yokozuna. So, to that end.
I think he reignited the anger of the Yokozuna because in their previous matchup that Tobizaru won, he had also done the similar trip attempt and kicked at Teruno Fuji. I don't think Teruno Fuji liked it then, and he certainly did not
Thank
like
you.
it.
I was going
time.
to bring that up again.
I don't remember. Sorry, just one more thing.
No.
With the Teruno Fuji hating Tobizaru, I don't remember if I saw it on Twitter or if it was shared in our Discord. But there was a video of Teruno Fuji refusing to give the power water to Tobizaru, and like there was like I think it was the 1-day tournament that they had that Hoshoryu ended up winning. Teruno Fuji had won his match and Tobizaru was next. He was supposed to give him power water, and I don't remember if he dumped it out or something, but he subway stiffed Tobizaru there and not giving him the power water.
So right there, he has it. Thank you, Ryan. Right there, he has the ability to just instill this rage with the Yokozuna. So much so that they even throw out tradition, what you are supposed to do when the next wrestler comes up before they wrestle. He's like, no, screw this guy. That's why this guy deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He has an uncanny ability to completely piss off the top tier wrestler.
And if my Bonsuke prediction is correct, Teruno Fuji and Tobizaru should match up in the next Basha.
More rage! More rage!
Yeah, regarding his Kimarite, most wrestlers, I'd say if you were to make a wrestler that was perfectly average, he would use Oshidashi and Yorikiri roughly a quarter of the time each. Tobizaru is only 20% Oshidashi and only 10% Yorikiri. So 70% of the time he's using something that would 70% of the time he's using something other than what most people use 50% of the time. Yeah, just
hence Master of Chaos. It's like very hard to pin this guy down.
Mm-hmm. And very successful.
And very
he's
successful.
been like a joy mainstay this whole entire time.
He's definitely bounced up and down a few times, Flick, but he's still there.
I would not have
getting up. There.
I would
like,
not
he's
have
better than his like people like mid Bonsuke. But like you say, like it's earned him the thing of pissing off Yokozuna.
Literally.
He debuted in 2020 in the top division at 27 years old. He's not a huge guy. He's not Midori Fuji size, but he's definitely a smaller guy. I did not expect this to be a guy that's been Komusubi 3 times in his career and hasn't been outside of the Joy since 2022. So he could definitely hold his own. He's definitely impressed in the top division a lot more than I expected when he first came up.
Yeah, both he and Ura are overperforming expectations as far as like what should the wily chaotic guy be doing.
Yeah. And similar to Ura,
winning this much.
Tobizaru has emotions. He's got that cheeky little smile that he'll do every once in a while that he's like, crap, let's akin to Ura. So it's like, all right, you've also got some personality.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I bet I've seen some cheeky smiles from Ura too.
Oh yeah,
I love his smiles.
Yeah. If I can take the devil's advocate position a little bit here, similar to Ura, I think Tobizaru has a lot of career left, and that would be the only thing I would have against. And I'm not saying that I won't vote for either of them by any means, but like I think that's one of the only things working against them here is that we have the totality of the other 2 nominations, whereas these 2 could go. Tobizaru could like I don't know, either of these guys could potentially have like a late career surge the way that some other guys have, but and add on to their legacy or whatever. I don't know. I just think those books have not finished yet, and that I think works slightly against them in this conversation.
Are we into the discussing the nominees section? Or...
I think we have entered the discussion of the nominees.
I think we probably just move to a vote unless we want a little bit more debate.
No, I was gonna double up with what Jake said, but I will say with Tobizaru, is Mac's main points were actually moments of like where he like kind of pissed off Hakuho, pissed off Teruno Fuji, which means like those moments can stand right there. Like I said the totality, which is called the Shogiku, and to Ryan's credit, he also said the same thing, like the whole entire thing that is Ura. But he did also have 13 moments of where he won an award.
I was about to say, everything that is in here is just moments at this point. You do have Hoshoryu's Ippanzoi. Yeah. That's in there.
What is a career but moments?
Yeah. Indeed.
I guess
I will say, like, I will like to say to finish that up though. I think I mostly agree with Jake, but maybe I could see a little bit with Mac with the moments.
My argument for Ura would be you don't need to wait for Wayne Gretzky to retire to know he's going in the Hall of Fame.
He is the Wayne
Sometimes
Gretzky of doing
you
weird
just
flippy sumo stuff.
You don't need to see the rest of the career. You've got enough body of work. You know it.
You say about a guy who has been retired for a long time.
Well, yeah, but like you didn't need him to retire. You don't need to wait for Patrick Mahomes to retire to know he's going.
Thank
to the
you.
Hall
That's
of
a better
Fame.
example because I don't know if I was alive when Wayne Gretzky retired. Like, how long did he
Fair.
play hockey?
Oh God,
A while
forever.
and a while ago. So yeah, you don't need Patrick Mahomes to retire to know he's going to the Hall of Fame.
As much as I despise those State Farm commercials, that's a better example. I get it.
All right, let's move on to voting. I believe how this works, each of us has 2 votes that we can apply, but we cannot vote for our own. So
Correct.
The first nominee was John Jacques. Who is voting for John Jacques?
I think it was Jocks, actually. I've met the guy
Sorry,
a couple
Jocks.
times.
All right. It looks like Ryan and I are both voting.
So that's 2 for John Jacques. How about our favorite little flippy boy, Ura? Okay, got 2 there.
That was Jake and Mac.
Koto Shogiku.
Oh, there you go. There's our first unanimous.
Yeah, looks like both Jake, Ryan, and Mac voted for Koto Shogiku.
Oh, Zoom recognized one of us putting up our hand as like actually raising our
wow.
hands.
Damn it! Stop it, Zoom.
How do I put my hand back down? Oh, there we go. Okay, good. That was weird.
All right, and that would mean Toby Zaru will get no votes because Flarek had his second. I
Flarek
forgot
gets
about
one.
Flarek's second. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. How do we break the tie between John Jacques and Ura?
I vote for John Jocks.
I vote for Ura.
And neither of them make it. We only have one entry.
Yeah,
between the two, I vote for Jean Jacques. How about
And
you,
I
Mac?
vote for Ura.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So we're still split.
Okay.
I don't know. Just do all 3 of them this year.
Might as well. Yeah.
All right.
They're both. We send first place and second place through. You got to tie for second place. You send them all through.
There you go. Everybody who's ranked either 3rd or 4th place is not getting in this year.
Correct.
There you go.
Same as every
That
other
works.
year.
Exactly. We're changing nothing.
Yeah.
All right. So that means that Ura, John Jocks, and Koto Shogaku are added to the GSB Miscellaneous Hall of Fame, or whatever we want that might or might not deserve a full bonus episode or anything, but we still want to talk about.
In fairness, we did give Koto Shogaku a full bonus episode when he retired.
Did we?
Exactly.
That's why
think
it's might or
so.
might not deserve a full bonus
Okay.
episode.
All right. We got it worked in. We
Yeah,
got it
there
worked
you go.
in. We're covered.
There is a might.
Yeah.
Boom. All right. Well, I'll update the formatting later so that they're enshrined in the proper spot of the Google Doc. But
All right.
go ahead, Ryan.
We move on to the GBS Memorial Hall of Shame. We decided
I love shame.
last year
GBS?
that
Yes,
so-
GBS.
Grand
Yeah,
Breakdown
no,
Sumo?
we did this to screw with I think Ryan one year.
no,
and
but
never
what we
changed
did
it.
last year, it's like it's a Hall of Shame. So like our format on our outline needs to just be an absolute mess. It needs to be shameful. And
Right.
so we did a whole bunch of different fonts and bold and
yeah, colors.
italicized and
Yellow
typos.
text on a white
Yep,
background.
text.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
see some Comic Sans.
Hideous. Yeah.
the GBS Memorial. I don't know who died. Hall of Shame. Probably Hal.
Our
Probably
dignity.
Hal died.
All right, so our current inductees into the Hall of Shame, Tochinoshin hanking Kakuryu to help secure his repromotion to Ozeki and
Yeah.
sealing the U show for Asanoyama in Natsu of 2019.
Mm.
We have Kakuryu whiffing Endo's foot in what turned out to be his final match, which sent Kakuryu landing on his ass in Nagoya of 2020. We have COVID, because fuck you, COVID.
Because fuck you, COVID.
And we have Goedo blowing a 2-win lead with 3 days left of the Aki 2017 Basho.
The very first Grand Sumo Breakdown covered Basho. We
That's
were
the one.
very certain what was going to happen until the last couple days.
Yeah. All right. Mac, you got the last Hall of Fame. Why don't you kick us off with the Hall of Shame?
I can definitely do that. So initially I was going to go with Hokuseiho due to recency, but I figured we would be checking with that. But the only thing I wrote down for Hokuseiho was screw this guy, right?
Yeah, I
So-
almost nominated him as well.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He is my nominee. So
Okay, he is your
start off.
Okay, well, hang on. That one might make it through just on its own merits.
Yeah.
But
I was gonna.
mine,
Do we want to talk about Hokusei?
Yeah, let's
after,
just
or
go
we
with-
just talk
yeah,
about
no,
right
let's just
now?
wait. Let's just wait.
Okay, we'll wait. Let's go ahead, Mac.
Oh no, do you want to do it now?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mac. You
No.
got it.
No,
I nominate this
my,
moment for the Hell of Shame.
Yeah. Meta.
my nominee, my secondary nominee, I actually kind of hurt a little bit, but I have to immortalize him somehow, and that would be Takayasu's Hopes and Dreams of a U show, because he's been so close
I
and
also
yet
almost went there.
so far. He just crushes the hopes and dreams of his fans. He's had it within his grasp so many times, and yet he finds
Jake
in
Jake
his
has
heart.
left. His camera is off. I can only assume Jake has angrily
It's true,
stormed from the
though.
room.
I'm trying to help the Takayasu fans out
Mac,
there. He
I'm
needs
just
to be
letting you know
immortalized.
you have my vote. I don't care what everything else is.
I love Takayasu, but it's like he just blows it every time when it looks like he's going to do so well. He's had a great career. He's a former Ozeki. He's got his name on towels, on cups, and yet he just can't pull it off. So
Yep.
I'm sorry, Papa Yasu. You
We've-
are the eternal joker.
We've gone through it quite a bit in the past, as Jake and I used to debate this until 2022 happened, and then it was fairly firmly cemented that he just can't pull it off. But yeah, Takayasu has lost at least 2 playoffs for a U show, where all he needed to do was win 1 match on the final day to win the U show. He failed to do that. There was one where he started off like with a 2-win lead after day 10, and he might have been the first Rikishi to ever blow day 10 2-win lead. Well, no, Goedo did even worse than that. but-
Goedo did do worse.
Yeah,
but
let's talk
not as
about Goedo blowing it again.
No. Not as consistently as Takayasu broke everybody's hearts.
Mac and I were on the similar
Go away the one
wavelength.
you show.
Oh,
No!
Cleric!
Oh, I love
My
it.
heart.
Jake's catching all the strays today.
Every one of them. This is the deal with the devil I get to finally get a nomination into the Hall of Fame. Is the entire Hall of Shame is just tearing my heart out over my all-time favorite wrestlers.
Yeah, so Mac was nominating, I believe, the 2023 March Basho that he choked away. I'm going to be
Bingo.
nominating the 2022 November Basho that he choked away. No.
I hate all of you. Flaric,
We
you want to
know.
pile on real quick?
We know.
Want to get it out of the way?
No. It's I do not have the shame of Takayasu. I'm very proud of Takayasu.
I'm trying to immortalize him, give him something.
Try to get him enshrined in these halls, Jake. Enshrined in these halls,
His
Jake.
in
name is
house.
carved in stone. The Ozeki stone.
Yeah.
It's there forever, okay?
Not the- I've never seen his portrait hung up in the Kokuki Con, though.
Ooh.
The
Yeah.
stone has his name in it.
Anybody can carve a name in stone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a lot of
Anybody can hang a
bridges in
flag with
Iowa
your
that I can
face
show
on
you
it.
a lot of random names on, Jake. It doesn't mean a whole lot.
Yeah, and anybody can hang a banner from the rafters. What's the point?
Of the Kokuki Con?
If you have a really tall man lift, maybe. I don't know. How do they get those up there? Let's talk about that for a bit.
Okay, let's bonus episode idea.
A whole lot of sumo wrestlers. That's how.
Yeah, a very stocky pyramid.
Anyway,
Beautiful, Mac.
next.
Like I that was another one I was considering, but I'm like, is that too mean to Jake? But I'm glad
Yeah.
you went there.
Oh, I had to go there. I'm like, it
All
just
right.
hurts.
All right. Since mine was thrown out there, I'll go ahead and talk about my next. I was actually I am going to nominate Hokuseiho. And why rather than Hakuseiho? What the heck?
Because he screwed up. Hang on.
Yeah,
it was
But no,
Hakuho.
the thing is, I was torn about whether it should be Hall of Fame or Hall of Shame. That was my big kind of takeaway from that.
Huh?
Because like to think about, like he came in with so much hype. He came in like a wrecking ball. Like he had that picture next to John Gunning of where he was just kind of towering over one, saying, "Hey, this guy's entering sumo pretty soon. He's gonna be a big deal." And like he joined the Hakuho stable, and like he came in, like he got up to Makiuchi so fast. And then
Hokuseiho. John
yeah.
Gunning approved.
John Gunning approved, yeah. And the thing is, like,
Excellent judge of moral
instantly-
character, John Gunning.
Oh God.
instantly everyone had an opinion of him. Like no one was
That's
kind of
true.
like, I don't know about this, I don't know about that. Everyone's just kind of like, this guy looks like quite the physical specimen, but what the hell is he doing in the ring?
He won a Yusho in each of the 4 lower divisions. I don't know how many other people have a Jonokuchi, Jonidan, Sandanme, and Makushita Yusho. Not very many.
No, that's really cool.
Yeah. So he came in, at least for, I'll speak for me, like he came in with so much hype, and I was like, this guy's going to do really, really well. And then I saw him wrestle, and I was just kind of like, well, maybe he obviously has this big flaw, but eventually, hopefully, he might learn from this. But the thing is, like, not Yusho, but Basho after Basho, my expectations for this guy just started plummeting. Like, all of a sudden, I was like, I don't think he's going to be, before it's like, how long until he's going to become Ozeki is like, how long to maybe he gets into the joy again. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's so, like, it was,
Never
definitely
even made it to the joy. Career high,
Nope.
Makuuchi 6, Makashira 6.
Yeah. But after I think he just kind of fell down. Like he definitely wasn't a joy mainstay. Is the thing I was trying to get across. And so like just
he wasn't an anything mainstay. He'd only been in the top division for a year.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah,
I feel like he was so young that it could have gone anywhere from there. He
definitely could have gone anywhere.
Yeah.
But like the thing is like,
right,
but the thing is he came in like a wrecking ball with so much expectations, and then, or at least for me, my expectations started off high, and there was copium saying like, oh no, maybe it's because of this he needs to train more, but it just kind of kept on going down to rock bottom, which kind of led us to the news this past week of where apparently he's been bullying some stablemates, and also stealing some money as well, possibly. I'm not 100% for.
I think he did steal.
So it's been convicted, not allegations or anything like that.
I think it's been reported enough that he was stealing from his junior.
Mm-hmm.
The official ruling comes down the day after we record this, but the rumor it's already been leaked what we're supposed to be expecting.
Yeah,
and
he's already handed in.
Yep, he's already handed his papers in.
Yeah. Whether they'll be, I would assume they're going to accept them. I don't think that they're gonna be like, no, just hang out for 3 bashos and we'll see you later. I don't think that's happening with him.
What I'm more worried about is the black mark this is going to put on Hakuho's record.
Yeah, another reason Hokuseiho deserves to be in the Hall of Shame but that's also to say Hakuho should have done something to prevent this behavior in his stable in the first place. We can't all put it on Hokuseiho. Hakuho should have done something. Even if he didn't know, he should have made sure that in a situation where he didn't know, it still wasn't happening. But still, screw you, Hokuseiho.
Yeah, it's a very, very much a Japanese cultural thing that if somebody gets in trouble, so does their boss. Yeah, that's just widespread everywhere, regardless of sport, business, what have you. Yeah, you get in trouble, your boss gets in trouble.
All right.
So as to wrap up the story of his career, he's kind of another person who we kind of know in totality of like what he was on the dohyo. And so like he came in so hot, so high, and it kind of started to slowly plummet to like I think everyone's expectations were kind of low right kind of before he left, and like the stuff off the dohyo is what got him off. It was just being a huge dick, and so it's just I think he's definitely someone I think we're going to kind of remember, but not for good stuff. It's going to be definitely for kind of just all the disappointments that was his career.
Yeah. He deserves it in multiple ways. Like, as Flerick said, started off so great, raising all of our expectations, only to quickly dash them, having extremely boring matches to the point that he was the number 4 most hated Rikishi in our popularity poll last year.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Bullying his junior Rikishi. I don't think we should bury that, really. He was bullying and abusing his junior Rikishi, stealing from them.
That is so much more significant than being less entertaining on TV. And
correct.
Yeah.
But the being less entertaining on TV affects us more, and we know more about that.
Yeah, you're right. We do have more direct evidence of that part.
And putting a black mark on Hakuho's still early coaching career, and if God forbid something else were to happen in that stable anytime soon, that could
Dissolve.
oust Hakuho
Oof.
from being a stable master, which I don't think any of us want to see,
Mm-mm.
especially with some of the young talent that he has in his stable. We would really love to see what Hakuho can do under the tutelage of Hakuho.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go ahead with my nominee, and I am nominating the Teruno Fuji versus Wakamoto Haru match back in, I believe it was July of 2022, back when they had the botched stoppage for when Wakamoto Haru's belt came loose in that match. So pretty much what happened is a hard-fought match between Teruno Fuji and Wakamoto Haru, very similar to the one that Wakamoto Haru won this past January. But Wakamoto Haru's belt was coming undone. The back loop was loose and it needed to be stopped. But the Gyoji was unable to stop the match properly during a natural downtime in the match. And so the match concluded while he was trying to stop the match. Teruno Fuji saw the Gyoji was coming in to stop the match. Wakamoto Haru didn't. Teruno Fuji let up. Wakamoto Haru didn't, pushing Teruno Fuji out of the ring. And that followed a very extended period of time of downtime that he could have stopped the match and avoided everything that followed. This led to the Shimpan having a conference with the Gyoji to figure out what happened and what to do next. I can't imagine there's a whole lot of matches that end with Gyoji saying to stop, but somebody gets pushed out of the dohyo. All the while, Wakamoto Haru is getting his belt retied off the dohyo by Shodai. And then after the conference,
I like how you highlighted that.
Yeah, after the conference of the Shimpan and the Gyoji is done, a lengthy conference by the Shimpan and the Gyoji is done on the ring. The match is ordered to restart from where they left off, which requires the Rikishi to resume their previous stances and grips, which requires a long conversation between the video replay department and the head Shimpan, as the head Shimpan's trying to relay what the video replay department is saying to him to the Gyoji to get them in the proper position.
Purely by like words and no.
It's a telephone game.
Yeah, so like the Shimpan up in the booth is the only one who can view the replay. The people that are on the ground are only hearing words from him. They don't actually like have a TV to watch or anything like that. So it's
he
one
said,
guy.
Put the arm over there.
It's one guy looking at a replay, talking to one guy with a microphone, talking to a third guy who's actually directing the wrestlers. Both wrestlers extremely exhausted. And just, oh, what a mess.
It's a telephone game.
Yeah. So that is my nominee for the Hall of Shame.
Oh man. Mine's less
like almost 10 minutes.
It took like
from
2
the
or 3
stop of the
times
match to the restart. Yeah.
Yeah, it took about 2 or 3 times as long as it took you to describe what happened.
Yes.
Much longer, I think.
Yeah, so mine is less funny and more of a bummer, but like we've had some real duds of Ozeki careers. So I'm nominating the 2020's Ozeki class. Is maybe that's how I'll phrase it.
Ooh.
So this does go a little bit before 2020, but I got 4 guys who absolutely just took a dump on their Ozeki performance. Starting from like least bad to most bad. Of these guys, Shodai is the best one.
Ooh.
Shodai was an Ozeki for 13 whole bashos that he did nothing with.
How many times was he Kadoban?
Go ahead and count for me, because these other guys did not have very many basho where they could have been because they were Ozekis for all of 2 minutes. At clocking in at a full 7 basho as Ozeki, we have Asanoyama and Tochinoshin, both of whom got their Yusho 5 times out of 13.
Yeah,
that's not very good.
He got 6 total losing records as an Ozeki out of 13 bashos.
There you go.
So
yeah.
Obviously, the last 2 were back to back, forcing him down to Sekiwake.
Right.
Where he got another losing record.
Yep. There you go. And clocking in at pretty bad, we have Tochinoshin and Asanoyama at 7 basho. Like I said, both of them got their Yusho before they were an Ozeki. As an Ozeki, not all that great. Tochinoshin, aged, injuries. Yep.
Injured. Yeah.
Totally understandable, but a very much bummer considering he had like 17 wins per basho on his way into the Ozeki rank. And Asanoyama for breaking COVID rules and getting his ass suspended.
Dumbass.
Clocking in at really bad, we have Takayumi, who spent only 4 basho as an Ozeki.
And was lucky to get that 4th.
I was just going to bring that up. His Ozeki debut, he went 11-4. How great is that? And then he did something that I can't imagine there's a situation where any Ozeki could have done this before. He managed to get 3 straight losing records as an Ozeki. One of them was a pullout for COVID, so it didn't count, but he was doing terrible.
Yeah, he started that basho 2-4, so it wasn't looking good.
Yeah, exactly. He was saved by the COVID to his rank lasted 2 months longer because of COVID. That's how bad an Ozeki he was. So yeah, especially Asanoyama, Shodai, Takayumi, they were 3 guys that were part of the tadpoles generation, where there was tons of hype, and there was this class that all kind of came up at the same time and had all this great success. And eventually all 3 of them made it to Ozeki and just blew it. Yeah, I think that if you want to just look at guys that were Ozeki but didn't make it to Yokozuna, if you exclude Takakeisho, you got to go all the way back to Goeido before you find a successful Ozeki. Takayasu spent 15 basho as an Ozeki. I didn't quite put him in this class because he didn't necessarily have the success before or after that would imply he should have had a good Ozeki career. As Mac made abundantly clear, Takayasu has a lack of accolades to his career for sure. But he's the most successful Ozeki.
But he was successful.
It's the most successful Ozeki since Goeido, other than Takakeisho.
Yeah, we with Takayasu, his Ozeki career was cut short due to injuries, similar to Tochinoshin, and not due to just not being good anymore. But while he was Ozeki, he got 3 12-3 Jun shows, at least one other double-digit performance. So he had 2 other double-digit performances. So he had some pretty decent success as an Ozeki. It was just that the injuries cut him short, and he was never able to make it back.
Yeah, if I were to drill all the way down into of their basho as Ozekis, Takayasu did pretty good. He legitimately was on the cusp where after a couple of those Junyu shows, there was a belt on a belt on the line were he to have a 14-1 or 15-0. It would have been in the discussion.
Yeah.
But
he did not have a losing record besides bashos he pulled out for injury as an Ozeki.
Nice. Yeah. So that's why I don't include him here. But so my nomination would be the recent crop of Ozekis, which seems hopefully to have concluded with Kirishima, Hoshoryu, Kotonowaka. Those guys have a lot of promise. And still Takakeisho.
Yeah.
He's just kind of the asterisk on this entire nomination. But Shodai, Asanoyama, Tochinoshin, Takayumi, 4 guys that had incredible success except for when they were Ozeki.
Yeah, Takakeisho, successful Ozeki. He was a successful one of the group.
Most successful Ozeki since, I don't know, probably Kaio. If he doesn't make Yokozuna, he'll go down as one of the best Ozeki ever.
Yeah, because he's got
That's a
2
good point.
Yusho up there.
Yeah, he's got 2 Yusho under
Jun Yusho. He's been an Ozeki since, was it 2019? So almost
Takakeisho
5
has
years.
4 Yusho.
As an Ozeki.
No, as an Ozeki, he had 2
okay,
Yusho.
fair.
Yeah. And I think he's been Ozeki for almost 5 years at this point. So yeah.
No, 3 of them were as Ozeki. Only one of them was as a Komusubi.
It was 3?
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
Even better.
He's been an Ozeki longer than he hasn't.
Oh.
I mean, he was
Oh my
Ozeki when
God.
he was 22.
Yeah, wow, that's really cool.
Hey, let's put
That's
Takakeisho
awesome.
in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Whatever, John
in there.
Jocks. Come on, get out of here.
Get out of here. Get out.
Go on, get John Jocks.
All right, we ready to vote?
Yeah.
I am. All right. The Takayasu, the perennial choker, who votes for him?
Yeah, who votes? Let me take some notes on this one real quick.
You have no doubt that I'm voting for that, Jake.
Of course I know.
Just one for Takayasu. That hurts my heart.
Good. That makes 2 of us.
Takayasu has nothing to be ashamed about with his career.
Thank you, Flair.
It's not all of his career, Flaric. It's
You're
the
continuing
4
to
or
deny.
5 bashos that he choked away.
Couple
You're
very
denying
specific points,
Takayasu's
yeah.
immortality. I see what's going on here. I'm a lover of Takayasu. You're not giving this guy the award he deserves.
The award he
The
deserves.
award he deserves.
Do you mean Wrestler of the Year 2022?
And
this
how many times was that
podcast.
brought up?
All right, what's the next nominee?
Yes, please.
Hokuseiho.
All right, we have both Mac and Jake voting yes for that one, with Ryan being the lone
It's
person
too
for the
sad.
Takayasu
It's
vote.
too real.
Too soon, too real.
I don't want to have to bring them up every time we do one of these.
We bring up COVID every time.
You bring up COVID. We said we recounted.
COVID
Who
was
did
slightly
COVID
more
ever hurt?
consequential than Hokuseiho.
Fair enough.
Who did COVID ever hurt?
Oh, Ryan.
Hey, I voted for COVID last year. All right, Teruno Fuji versus Wakamoto Haru. That match debacle.
I'll throw my vote for that. And it
Oh.
looks like Jake is also voting, so you
Yes,
have
I
two
am.
for that one.
It did the Zoom hand motion again. Sorry.
All right. And the bummer 2020 Ozekis.
Man, we have another.
I'm abstaining. My second vote.
That's funny.
Oh, Fleric is abstaining from his
So-
second vote.
Yes, and it looks like Ryan voted yes and Mac voted yes for the I guess the bad Ozekis.
So are you saying none of the other two things you're eligible to vote for you think are worthy of Hall of Shame?
No, like I said, I have no shame about Takayasu's career. The same
That's
same
fair.
logic. I have no shame about those Ozeki careers.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I would probably fight you on this in most circumstances here, but I think that especially the Takayasu thing. I think your heart's in the right place on that one.
Mm.
But if you had to vote for one,
I had to.
Ryan can't take the tie. I
No,
can
Ryan
live with the tie.
This.
well, no matter what, we're sending 3 through because we got 2, 2, and 2.
Oh, good
so
point.
If Fleric voted for another one, it'd be 3, 2, and 2, the same thing that we had before. So
There you
just
go.
send them all through. It doesn't matter. Through
Let's do
Fleric's abstaining meant nothing. Your
Oh, no.
moral high ground means nothing.
But I could sleep
Indeed.
tonight. That is what matters. When I meet Mitaki Yumi and like we hang out and we go out drinking, I won't have this hanging over my head, unlike you guys.
Yeah, he's gonna
Meh.
shake Fleric's hand and then look at the rest of the three of us,
Mhm.
and then just turn around.
And then just turn around and walk away. It's like, go away now.
Oh, he watched that episode, didn't he? Oh no.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up another edition of the Grand Sumo Breakdown, miscellaneous Hall of Fame of whatever we want that might or might not deserve a full bonus episode or anything, but we still want to talk about. And we have 3 new inductees in each category. Inducted into the Hall of Fame, we have John Jocks, we've got Ura, and we've got Koto Shogiku. Their careers, everything involved with it. They are in the Hall of Fame. And in the Hall of Shame, we have Hokuseiho, who took a very precipitous downturn in public opinion over the past year. Teruno Fuji versus Wakamoto Haru. Mostly that's falling on the Gyoji there. Kinosuke, I don't remember. Something like that. He was just promoted to the top Gyoji role, which I still can't remember what that is.
Yeah.
But
he's retiring this year.
he is
He's
retiring
turned
this year.
65.
And the bummer 2020 Ozekis, Mitaki Yumi, Asanoyama, Tochi Noshin, and Shodai. All of them have entered our Hall of Fame and Hall of Shame collectively. Congratulations, and too bad to you all. So, with that being said, if you enjoy this podcast, you can leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast listening service. Reach us, Grand Sumo Breakdown at gmail.com. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We've got a YouTube page. Search for Grand Sumo Breakdown. Like, comment, and subscribe. Mac, we've got a phone number. Do you remember it this time?
Is it 805-613-7866? That's 805-613-SUMO?
It is!
I did it!
That's what you
And
get
I
for
flipped
thinking
you off at
Mac
the same
wouldn't
time because I
remember.
did remember, and I knew you were going to ask me.
So feel free to
Has
call
Mac
that number
ever
and
forgot
leave us a
that?
voicemail.
Yes,
No.
I did on the last card episode.
Yep.
Ah, okay.
It got stuck in my brain.
It's okay. It happens to the best of us. Not me, but the rest of us. And then we also have a Patreon where if you join our Patreon at as low as $1 a month, you can join us in our Discord server where conversation is happening all throughout the downtime of sumo, especially during the Ba show. There's always conversation to be had there. So join us in our Discord channel if you'd like. And until next time, throw your salt high and keep moving forward.